You've worked, as we know, for Haters, so you've worked
Yeah.
across print, you've worked for Radio Solent, you've done radio, you've obviously worked at the BBC and ITV as well. So let's have your 5 do's and 5 don'ts. So if you were going to give me 5 career mantras, do's and don'ts.
Wow, okay, right, do. Well, let's start with the don't. Don't mimic. I think you've got to be yourself in every regard. I think if you're trying to be a presenter, a reporter, or even a commentator, heed good advice from other people, but don't copy them, because I think you can only be yourself, and if you're not true to yourself, then you're going to struggle. What should you not also do?
Production-wise, what are your golden rules in terms of producing and editing shows?
I think you need to know. You need to know your subject matter. So it's imperative that if you're editing darts, tennis, cricket, you're researched and you know it all. I think as a producer, you're in a privileged position, or an editor, you're in a privileged position, and how you shape a program is key. And I think you have to know. Even you could cover a broad range of sports. You have to know your subject matter inside out. So be researched, be up to date, be informed. That's imperative. Somebody who's got an opportunity in a role, what annoys me is they don't appreciate the opportunity they've got. If, say, somebody in the production team is moaning about their shift pattern, or moaning about having to do too many programs and so forth, then sometimes I'll just remind them, well, okay, you're one of, say, 15 producers here. There's probably 1,500 who would like to be in that position. So we don't overwork people, but sometimes you do. It's the nature of the job. Football matches are played at night time, so you work late night. So I think that in that point, it's hard work. It's not 9 to 5. It's hard work. So I think you have to go into it with your eyes open. If you're working in news or sport or any area, it's not a 9 to 5 job where you kind of clock off at 5 and you switch off for the rest of the night. If you're working in the sports industry and sports TV, you need to know what's happening in the evening. So you probably watch it because you're a supporter or a fan anyway. But it's hard graft. So I think people have to appreciate that when they get into it. We don't work people to the bone, but it's not a 9 to 5 job. So that's from a production point. Another thing that people don't be put off by knockbacks, because everyone has a knockback and they can be subjective. Which you can't reason with, but you don't agree with them, but you can't change someone's perception of you. If they don't quite like or think you've got the right qualities for that role, you can argue, but you're not going to change their mind. But that's just one person's viewpoint. Don't be put off by that. There'll be somebody else further on down the line who will appreciate what you can do. So I think you need to have that resilience and bounce back ability, to quote Ian Dowie. You need to kind of have that resolve, because it won't be plain sailing. Some people will be lucky and have a career trajectory that goes like that. Most people won't. So I think you need to be resilient. And it's not always fair. It's not always right. The best people don't always get the best opportunities. But that's the trouble when you're in a subjective business sometimes, because it's a program editors, a program producers, likes or dislikes, is whether he takes a shine to someone. So you have to be resilient as well.